I'm 58, going on 58 years old. I came up to the Kimberleys when I was 15, 16 when I left third year high school. I never actually worked for the APB, but I was involved substantially by friendship and familyhood and going out as a group, out hunting and fishing and not knowing the difference. And all these years of trying to get mental help, and each time I go to a doctor at the clinic, there's another doctor, so I have to explain myself again. And then when I go back there again in a few months, there's another doctor, and there's another doctor. I've seen at least 40 doctors. Half of them didn't really care. They just passed the creams and lotions and there's some antibiotics. I was a young bloke and we get to meet a lot of people in Derby, being a friendly town. We find out we're related or we're close connections and all that, and we all got on good. And I was out hunting with the boys and they'd pick us up in the car like early in the morning, just on sunbreak, dawn I mean, and we'd all pile on the back of the tray backs back then, because you sit on the back, and we'd have our esky of beer and all the stuff to go out hunting with, and we'd go out and we'd drive a good 150 k's, just go out all day and then come back from night time. But when we was out hunting, we'd be sitting on the back of the trays. It'd be hot, and we'd be sitting in the slime on the back of the tray backs, and even some of the containers were still on some of the tray backs, and we'd ride along with shorts on and a singlet, and so our bodies are sweating and we're absorbing it all too. And we go out hunting and we'd get a kangaroo or a bird or something, we'd throw it out on the back of the tray back too, so the animal was laying on the back of the tray too, and then we'd cook it and eat it. And then we'd drink beer, have a big feast, and then we'd drive all the way back, still sitting on the back of on the tray backs. And this happened like nearly every weekend for a good few years, because all we did was go out hunting and fishing and that. A lot of the boys were like my young cousin Philip Carter and Eugene French and a few of the other boys. They used to work for the APB and they used to stay at my house. Eugene never, but he was my cousin too, and I knew he was working for him. And Philip and the boys would come back to my house and we'd drink beer, and they still had their work clothes on, and they'd sit on the couch and we'd sit together, clothes up, and laugh, put our arms around each other and all that, what we normally do, and in good fun. And then they'd wash all their clothes together and we'd eat, and then we'd be on the back of them cars again, even just to go to the pub or something, get a lift down to the pub. We'd hop on the back of the tray back again. And then we started losing a few of the boys, like Cyril, Terry and them. They just went unexpectedly. And I was very close to Michael Suriago because he taught me a lot, because he's older than me, and he taught me a lot about bush hunting and that. And so I grew up respecting him deeply and his family, and we became close and all that, and we always were close through the years. And then I saw him in a headland on the way up from Perth one day back to Broome, and I got back to Broome, and the next day they said he dropped of a heart attack, like just died, and it was so sad to lose really good friends. And not just, he was close to me, yes, but they were all close to me too, and I knew a lot of them too. Even the boys getting affected now, like Trevor and all them, and I knew all them too. And it's really sad to see people younger than me in the state they are in. So, in a sense, yes, there's people worse off than me, but at the same time, I've got problems myself, where I've been breaking out in these skin conditions all through my skin. I get like a darker shadow on my skin here, and then that turns into it's like a black putty tar inside there, and it's got to be expelled. And at times there's nodules in there that are really hard and sharp, and they have to break through my skin too, so naturally you just flick them out to get them out, but they always come back. It's like a corn, where you take a corn off and it just comes back the next couple of days later, it's all there again. So this has been happening, my skin condition's been happening for about the last 20 years, more or less. And I'm a qualified builder, and I've worked here and there in communities and all that. So when I went to the medical centre, it was like, I thought it was like a scabies-based thing or something I've caught. And they gave me ivermectins, what they feed sheep. And I had them for about 7 years, on and off, on and off. I had bottles of scabies creams and scabies lotions and poisons, which I kept putting all over my body to try and stop this, because at first they said it was a hookworm, then they said it was a fly strike, and then they said it was some type of North African thing. And I was, well, I've never been to North Africa. And so when I tried to look through the computers myself with my partner then, we'd find something similar. And when we said it to the doctors, it was more or less the impression of, we're the doctors, we'll tell you what you've got. So after nearly 18 years, and they have photos of me with my arms all infected, and they've taken biopsies, they've given me steroid injections, they've taken at least 3 times samples out. I've seen about 4 skin specialists. I keep requesting to see an exotic skin specialist who may know a bit further, but they keep sending me to the normal skin specialists and say they've already seen specialists, so it's what we say it is. So in the end, the medical centre, the head doctor said to me, Herbert, would you be offended if we referred you to mental health? I was quite taken back by what he'd said, because it's hard to get someone to believe you what your problems are when you know it's your body. At the same time, you know something's wrong or foreign in your body, but it's not right. I feel dirty with this on me, because it's not just on my arms, it's on my body too. Pubic area, legs and all that. So I find it hard to have a relationship, talk close to people, or even associate picking up my own grandkids, because I don't know what I've got. You know, I've got to pick up my grandchild or something, carry them out of love, but at the same time I've got to be careful in case they, even though at the time it's not contagious and that, well, how in the hell did I catch it? And the last resort for the medical centre was to send me to mental health. I'm a level 3 building instructor. I was Aboriginal Apprentice of the Year finalist in 1986. I've done that many trades and jobs. I implement housing programs in remote Aboriginal communities. I've worked all the defence bases. I know what I'm doing, and I know something is wrong on me or in me, that it's been reoccurring. I reckon the government should set up a body to look into the whole matter, from when it was first used to where it was used, the people involved, and then look at where the people involved are, what their health issues are, and even the people associated with them, whether it's through hereditary bloodline or if they're still alive today, which I hope, but a lot of them are gone. And there's only a few of us left. People like Johnny Young and Eugene McMahon and that, what you might call the lucky ones. But at the same time, we don't feel lucky losing family and friends and associates that we've known for years. Well, our government instructed the Indigenous workers, my associates and friends and family who work for them, to spray for the Nagura burr and the thorn trees, but they were spraying all along the river catchment areas where Indigenous people lived for centuries, and it's our heritage and culture to be part of the Kimberleys. At the same time, they had everyone spraying the Kimberleys, and it's still affecting people today, same as what's happening in Vietnam. Now, I wouldn't have known about this fully, but through the years I've heard so much about it, and people leaving us, gone, to where, what's going to happen with the rest of the people now? Because if it is passed on through genes or hereditary, well, what happens if our children what happens with the people who are still in certain areas that it's been affected. So there's emotional loss, there's a tragic loss, there's a loss all over in a sense of not being recognised on the issues of them being employed and people being associated or in contact with this substance.